Hi there folks, Borislav247 here with another Days Gone Challenge Mode video where I show a fantastic new method in which to get a gold score on the ambush camp rush every single time, and with a huge difference. Because a lot of people that follow my videos already know I have a very good run route that gets the job done in under 3.5 minutes, but you do have to run the gauntlet, and the majority of feedback that I get from people who are struggling with that particular method is all about the time aspect, because you only have 3.5 minutes in which to get the job done. Well, this method changes all of that. I have taken the time out of the equation completely. It doesn't matter if it takes you 10 minutes to get this done, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it will make no difference, because if you do this particular challenge in the way that I show, I guarantee you will get a gold score every time, especially as I have a very nice failsafe in place that comes into play, or sometimes comes into play, at the end of the run. Now, as well as this, I also just happened to drop a nice teaser at the start that I have uncovered a brand new hidden bonus for this particular challenge. I'm going to show more about that later on, and in detail about how you get it. Right then, in order to show just how effective this run method is, I am going to be taking it on without the use of any rings whatsoever, or any of the patch perks from any of the other challenges. The only two things you need to worry about are the two sub-challenges that are called Camp Ghost and Berserk, and they pretty much work hand in hand with each other. They are basically all about not being seen. The Camp Ghost requires you to take out 24 out of the 25 Marauders in order to get all of the bonuses for that sub-challenge, and Berserk you have to take out 13 Marauders through residue bolt kills in order to get the job done on that one. As well as that, just follow the methods that I show, and I promise you, a gold score is assured. So, without any further ado, let's get to the action. Okay, here we go. Step one is to basically pick up some items that are just to my left, because I currently don't have a proximity mine, but you can get one over here, as well as getting a number of other items and some craftable items too. So, once you see ×9 on the multiplier, you know you've got everything there. I'm looking to craft 2 Molotovs and 2 pipe bombs. That will then give me 1 grenade, 2 pipe bombs, 3 Molotovs, and most important of all, proximity mine. Okay, on to step 2. I'm just going to make sure to raid that tree, because that is one of the crafting requirements for making residue bolts. I'm looking to get over here, and this is a simplified version to take out this guy every time. Just wait until he gets close. A little bit of focus into play there, and just make sure you hit him on the upper left thigh. If you make sure that he gets in close every time, you will always make that shot. And worth noting, as I mentioned at the very start, I am not using any rings whatsoever. The Fleur-de-Lis is a very handy ring to have at your disposal, but it isn't required to get the job done in the way that I do. So, the armoured guy is basically heading off, and he's going to do his thing. Hopefully will get a lot of kills for me. But I do notice that Marauder over there, yeah, he's fair game, because he's just not moving. And yeah, I'm going to take him out with a Molotov, which is very nice. Now, any kills that you make with throwables or explosives do not score as highly as kills that come from residue bolts. That is worth knowing, but I'm not really bothered as to how many kills that I get with the items, whether it be Molotovs or grenades or whatnot, because in this run it's not going to make any difference. But this part now, hugely important. That is the first location of the nest residue that you require to craft the residue bolts. Now, at this point here, I'm just checking to see where they are. Now, I do have an option here. I could have fired a grenade over there, because I probably would still not be seen. But My focus now is on this sniper. I want him out of the picture. And one Molotov will do the job nicely. Just make sure when you're doing it, stand back a little bit, make sure to watch the arc properly so that you know that the Molotov is definitely going to go into the sniper nest up there, and it's all good. Now, at this point now, I'm just looking to if there are any easy targets, and lo and behold, this is one of them. Yep, I'm looking to hit them with the residue bolts. And from here, I'm moving on because of the 3 residue nest locations in this challenge, 2 of them are outside the camp. And it's critically important that you get them because these are the biggest factor in getting this job done. Next, I'm on to the next step, and that basically involves getting that proximity mine in place there. There's a flamethrower guy that normally comes out round about, it's either 10 or 9 kills remaining. And if you have that in place, you will never see him. But this is where I look to get any easy hits with the residue bolts. There is usually a marauder in that particular hut over there. And by the way, the boundaries for this particular challenge are actually quite wide, so at this point you can come out quite a long way. Just take advantage of it, because if you stay well back, you will not be seen. I also make a point of constantly being in a crouched position. I will occasionally do a bit of running where I come out of that, but generally I just keep crouched to make sure I am not seen. It is much harder for the marauders to see you at all when you're like this, which I'm sure you will all know, but if you don't, it's worth pointing out. So, from here, I'm looking very carefully to make my way over to this area here. And it's worth knowing, yes, I do take out a lot of them from outside the camp. It is a safer way of doing things. You have a lot of protection, a lot of cover, and I'm looking here now. I only use the residue bolts when I have shots that are quite easy to make, where the target isn't moving too much or if they're walking very slowly. So I'm taking full advantage at this point, and this is going very nicely so far. I'm just going to make sure to go right round to the other side of this camp section. Now, there is a melee weapon up here, and it is pretty much the best in the game, but I'm not interested in it at all, because basically my method in order to take out this entire camp does not involve a melee weapon. Basically the end game will involve the BFG, but that's not quite in play yet. The residue bolt kills are my prime focus at the moment, and not only that, I'm looking to really clear out this area of the camp. I really am looking to do a job where all of a sudden there's going to be no more marauders around here, because this section of the camp is very important for 2 reasons. One, the 3rd location of the nest residue required to make the residue bolts is actually located in the camp, unlike the other 2 which were outside. And also, the BFG is also in this area. In fact, it's on the top of that building right there to my left. But I'm not interested in getting the BFG just yet, because I don't have the 13 kills that I require through the residue bolts. And that is bizarre. There should be a wire there that you have to cut in order to get into the camp without arousing any suspicion, but for some reason it wasn't on there. But just be wary of that when you come in the camp this way. But now I'm looking to basically get the items from that tree, and here is the location of the 3rd nest residue. And up there is the BFG by that corpse. But, as I said, the most important part here is I want these kills in place, and I only require 2 more, so I'm not far away from doing this. So, yep, I'll get them crafted. Now, I do potentially have the ability to craft another 3 after these 3 have been used, but I did check there and I am short of scrap. So, when that is the case, there is a nice area here that you can pick up scrap very easily, but I'm going to take care of this marauder first. I am taking the time to see if there's anyone else about. There isn't. Now, this Marauder isn't moving too much, so I'm just going to go for it. There's no special requirements in hitting that one. So, I'm picking up those items there, mainly because there is a frag grenade, which is very handy should I require it. But I did get an extra scrap there, which all of a sudden means that I now have a good number of residue bolts to use. Should I require them, of course. This really shouldn't be too much of an issue now. I can see I've only got 11 kills remaining. Yep, I am waiting to see what this Marauder is actually going to do. Yep, he's making a bit of noise. And I think that's him out with a picture. So, the only slightly annoying thing is I was hoping he would get one more kill in order to get to the stage where I could start to go for the BFG. Because not only that, the next step actually involves making sure that I get a suppressor for that gun as well, because I want it quiet. If you don't get the suppressor and start shooting away, the camp will be alerted. And that's it, it's game over. The method will no longer work. But I now have another slight dilemma, and when you're doing this run route in this way, it's going to be a little bit different for everyone, because the Marauders are never always in the same positions, or at least once the camp starts to lose their numbers, they don't always go where you expect them to go. And the problem I've got here is this particular guy has armor on top. He's a fantastic Marauder to get under the influence of the residue bolt, but you have to be hitting him low. So I'm just going to entice him with the rock. There we go, job done. Now, I'm not even going to bother watching what he does, because guaranteed, even if he doesn't make any kills, and he will, because that is one of the best Marauders you can possibly hit with a residue bolt in order to get the job done. He does do a very good job. But I do want to wait here just to make sure that I am not seen. Now, he is under the influence, so he cannot possibly alert the camp if he sees me. But he's not blind. If he sees me, he will start to shoot at me. And if I lose any health whatsoever, I will lose a 2,500 point bonus at the very end of this challenge, which I would really like to keep a hold of. It comes in very handy. Yeah, this one is getting me... Oh, do you know what? I was about to say, this guy is getting me a little bit worried, because he's not really moving away from the area that I want to go about in. But he's now stuck in a trap. That's it. He's done for. I can move on. And now I am after 2 items in order to complete this challenge to the end. The first is the BFG, and this is where it's located, right here. Yep, no longer require the crossbow. I could go down to the bottom and use residue bolts and just let it all play out, but this is not only a more fun way of doing it, but it's also a little bit quicker. So, and for anybody wondering, and there probably will be a few people, you'll probably have noticed I have picked up virtually nothing while I've been going around the camp. That is for a very good reason. That is basically my failsafe. I'll explain a little bit more about that when I get near the end of this challenge. Now, I do have 6 kills remaining, and I do want to know where all of their positions are. Not so important for the ones that are on this side of the camp, because this side of the camp I want cleared completely. I do know that most of them are going to be at the other section of this camp, and I'm looking to see their positions for a very good reason, because I want, when I get to having 1 Marauder remaining, I want him in a very specific location. And you can guarantee there is always one of these Marauders at this location, because this area is very well patrolled by them. They always have someone on the top area by the tower. He's not in the tower, but he patrols around it. Well, he or she. Right now, I know I've only got 4 left, so yep, this one is definitely not going to be an issue, so I'll take that one out. If there are any more around here that I can take out safely, I will. But right now I'm not seeing any, so just going to move around. Now, 1 or 2 pieces of information also worth knowing. To get the gold score, you require 25,000 points. And I know this score already is looking very good. Basically because after the next 2 kills, I will get I think it is a 5,000 point bonus for the Camp Ghost sub-challenge. So I am just checking to make sure that there is definitely... There we go. Yep, that one at the very back there, that's the one that I'm going to leave. So this one here is getting it. Thank you. Now just 2 more. And yep, not going to be long with this one either. And there we go. That is the bonus that is coming into effect. Now, because I have taken no damage throughout this entire run, I know that I'll receive a 2,500 point bonus if I had just taken out the last guy there and then, and that would have got me the gold score. But I'm going to show what the failsafe is in place for. Because, as I mentioned before, I haven't picked up, well, I've picked up virtually no items, and for a good reason. If by any chance you are quite short of the mark with your score, and normally you're not, this is how you remedy it. I always make sure to start at this area because there is a few items in here straight away that get the multiplier going. This is basically the failsafe, because by picking up all these items, and I'm picking them up now because basically there is no opposition in terms of marauders. The one marauder that's left is basically at the other side of the camp, so I can clear out this entire section hassle-free. And because the multiplier is not a quick one, because you can't pick up items normally as quick as this, the multiplier lasts quite a long time, so there's no worry at all that you're going to run out with the multiplier here. And as you start to pick up anything that you can possibly get your hands on, basically you're going to pick up a good few thousand points. Normally you will pick up a minimum of 5,000, but you can get anything up to 7,000 if you really go to town at the other section where the marauder is based. But just clearing out this area up here with all the things, I'll guarantee I'll get a gold score, because it is normally a minimum of 5,000 points that you'll pick up from all these items. And there we go. That is the gold score done and dusted. But I'm just going to show where some of these other items are. And the survival vision is always worth using because it points out areas or dead people that you can basically loot, or items that are nearby. There we go. That's that poor sod that got it with a bear trap. There's more items over here. Yep, there's even plants. You can basically go for them too. There's another item over here as well as this. The rest of the items that are in these 2 wee shacks over here, make sure to pick all these up. As you can see, the score is building up nicely. And that is why these are all left. This is the failsafe that I have been telling you about constantly. It's so worth having. And because this is in place, it guarantees a gold score every single time. I didn't need it on this particular run, but I am showing it just in case you have a run where you don't get the kind of points that I did. Because everybody's run is going to vary a touch, which is another reason why I have no problems at all in showing more than one run doing what I'm doing. But this will give you an idea as well as to where a lot of the items are. I'm very lucky. I have a good knowledge of where virtually all of them are. And I also have a very good knowledge of where the bear traps and the wires are that can alert the camp. But Also worth knowing that these wires that can basically rattle the cans and basically give away your position. It's not deadly if you hit one of those at the very end. Once you have the 24 kills for the Camp Ghost, it really doesn't matter for getting a gold score, that's for sure. And if you're at the other end of the camp anyhow, it's never going to be heard. But now, I do have some other items down here, but they're not required at all. I'm just looking to basically get this last marauder taken care of. And there he is. And there we go. The perfect round bonus, which is 2,500 points, comes from not taking any damage whatsoever. And there we go. That is a job very well done. And as I'm sure you'll all agree, it's a damn sight more relaxing than the other method that I've shown in the past. Right then, folks, this is not something you see every day on this challenge. In fact, with the exception of the developers of the Days Gone challenges, I don't think anyone else has ever seen this secret bonus before. It's called Ghost, and it's worth 4,500 points. And truthfully, the only reason I discovered this was because I was working on this run route. Now, actually getting this bonus to start with was quite a shock to me. And at first, I was absolutely delighted in getting it. But then it dawned on me. I now had the arduous task of finding out exactly what triggers this bonus. And even more important, what things you have to avoid doing which will negate this bonus. Because I can tell you from experience, when I have found one or two bonuses in the past, and these that I'm talking about now are basically the Hitman bonus and the Sniper bonus, they always have very exact criteria as to what will make them appear and what won't. The amount of things that can stop these bonuses appearing are beyond belief. Now, for this bonus, after a great many attempts at trying to narrow down things, basically work on all the variables that sort of were in place with my various runs. For example, when I was taking out the camp, where I go around the outside of the camp for most of the time. At first I thought it was maybe something to do with that. It's not. I then thought at one point it might be to do with the fact that at the end, when I apply the failsafe, where I basically pick up all the items in camp basically unopposed, I thought it might have been something to do with that. It's not. Started thinking about some of the most obvious things. This challenge, this bonus is called Ghost. Now, the sub-challenge that you have to complete in order to do the run method that I show, where you have to get 24 kills of the Marauders without being seen, which is called Camp Ghost. I thought, well, surely it's that. If you get that completed to gold standard, that this ghost will appear at the end? No, swing and a miss. It's not as easy as that. In the end up, the actual name of the bonus really does tell the story. Because basically, folks, you have to be a ghost. So making sure that you don't alert the camp of your presence is only the tip of the iceberg when trying to go for this secret bonus. You have to make sure that no marauder is aware of anyone's presence other than the other marauders in the camp throughout the entire run. And there are a number of things that will stop this from happening. Basically, if you're looking to fire your residue bolts, if you happen to miss one of your shots, rest assured that's it. The ghost bonus, that's gone. Another one is basically if you are using throwables or explosives. If there are 2 or 3 of them in a nearby area and you don't manage to take out all 3 of them together, the ones that have actually heard the blast when you're killing the other marauders, that's it. They know something's up. They will not alert the camp as to you being there because they're not sure exactly what's going on, but that ghost bonus is gone. Now, as well as that, there is one or two other things as well, and I will show them in a little bit more detail at the end of this video. But right now, I'm going to show another run using my method where I actually get the ghost bonus. Right then, for this run, the only things that are really going to change are the character that I'm going to be using, which is going to be Ricky, because she is one of my favourites. And as well as this, I am going to have rings in play. And there's only one I'm really bothered about actually having, and that's the fleur-de-lis. For the second option, I've actually gone with Vampire, which suppresses shots after a stealth kill. But most people will probably go with Joker. But honestly, the way I do this run, Joker is not really that much of a big deal. So, okay, let's get this done. Right then, as before, I'm starting off by heading over to this area here and making sure I pick up all the items that I can possibly get my hands on here, with the exception of the melee weapon that's there. That is not required. Again, I'm actually just looking to do 2 Molotovs. I don't see the point with the pipe bombs because I'm highly unlikely to ever use them. Now, there are going to be some very subtle differences in getting the job done this time, purely because I want the Ghost secret bonus. Now, I'll start off again with basically the simplified version to get this guy. Let him get in reasonably close, then apply the focus, and then make sure you hit him upper left thigh. Now at this point, I'm just going to wait a minute until he actually starts firing. And on this run, I am not interested in any way, shape or form of actually using throwables in this area. I don't care if they're bunched up or whatnot, it's too much of a risk when you're trying to get this ghost bonus. So, moving on to the next area. Next priority is the first nest residue that is over here to my left. And after this next process changes immensely, because normally I would be looking to head up close there and basically take out the sniper with a Molotov. If you do that when looking for the ghost bonus, highly unlikely you're not going to get it, because I can already see that there is a marauder nearby. I throw a Molotov up there and that's it. He's going to know something's basically going on. However, another opportunity is about to present itself, because I know when I see that marauder basically doing his walk around there, he always stops at that point and you get a fantastic line of sight in order to get a good clean shot in. So I am being ultra cautious here. I'm waiting until he actually makes a play here. Once he's got the sniper's attention, yeah, that's it now. Now I'm safe to go. So again, make sure to loot the tree. It's all for the crafting items in order to keep the residue bolts going. And from here, yeah, a little bit of extra caution. I just want to make sure, and yeah, just seen that one there. Thankfully he's not seen me, and I very nearly took the shot, but I'm glad I didn't, because he did actually move quite quickly. Okay, over to the next section. If there is a shot on, I'm going to take it, and oh yes, this could be worth doing. This area of the camp is heavily populated with the marauders, so if you get a chance to get 1 or 2 of them early down here, it's definitely worth taking on. And this one, oh, this one is just teasing me. A bit too much moving about, and now I think they're a little bit too far away. So although the fleur-de-lis ring will make sure that the bolt flies straight for a long time, my line of sight now is obscured, and I'm simply not going to risk it. So, onwards. The next step is to get the next nest residue, and it's right over here. After this, the next step, where is that proximity mine? This needs to be in place now. There's not been that much activity over here, so, yep. Did see that just out of the corner of my eye there. There is someone over there, but that's fine. They've not seen me. Moving on. This next area, there is normally 2 marauders that are around these, I was going to say cabins, but they're probably more like shacks, if anything. And there's a marauder right there that is not moving about too much, so perfect. That's really what you want every time. It's just basically making sure that you don't make any stupid mistakes. And I'm definitely going to take advantage of the fact that you can really come out very wide here, and you have a lot of bush areas that you can basically get good cover from as well. It's not a bad area to be watching the action from as well. Now, at the moment, yep, the kills that are coming from Berserk with the residue bolts, they're going quite well. I only require another 6 at the moment. And, yep, I'm just looking over this way because now my focus really goes on to trying to clear out this particular side of the camp. And yeah, I can see another marauder that's just headed back over to this area. I'm not passing up the chance of taking this one out with a residue bolt because they're nice easy targets when they're in there. They don't do much moving about. I'm just looking for him to, yeah, that's it. Making sure he has his back completely at my disposal there. And thankfully, most of the marauders, you can hit them anywhere on the body section. Just try to make sure that you don't go for the head area, because you can sometimes actually just take them out clean and kill them straight away. You ideally want the effects of the residue bolt to take effect, and hopefully they'll take out a few marauders for you. One of the few marauders that is a problematic one, I can see just up this way, and it's this armoured guy. It's the one that always has the helmet on. If you are ever going to take a shot at this one, make sure it is low. And you know what? I've got the perfect opportunity here. This is risky, but I'm going for it, and I've got him. It is a gamble, because if that shot had not stuck straight away there, that's it. The ghost bonus would be over and done with. Because although the camp wouldn't be alerted, he would be heading over to the position to where the shot came from. So this should start to work very much in my favour now, because this guy will go to town, and he generally, even on a bad day, will normally take out about 3 marauders. When he's going well, God, I've seen this guy take out about 7 or 8 of them. And again, there's there's a potential to take out quite a number of them here with a throwable. If I was just looking for the gold score, I would have already thrown a grenade over that way right now, and probably would have got all 3 of them. But I'm not taking the risk in case I throw over a grenade and it doesn't quite take them all out. Then that's it. The ghost bonus again is gone. So this one is really just all about taking your time. Now, I can see that this next marauder is starting to walk over this way very slowly, so I'm going to take the shot. It's a nice easy one when they're basically walking into your target line like that. And of course, because they're going across water there, it is going to be a slower affair for them. So there is some good news here, because I'm guaranteed now that I am going to get the 13 kills required for the Berserk sub-challenge involving the residue bolts. And there we go, that's it done. However, I am very aware that although the BFG now is going to be very accessible, because there's not many marauders around that area at all, here is my problem. There is still 1 or 2 that are about this area, and I need to get into that cabin area in order to get the suppressor for the BFG. That is important. I need to have that gun silent, or that's it. That is another way that basically your ghost bonus will simply disappear. In fact, it's a lot worse than that. If you fire off the BFG and there's anyone remotely in the vicinity and you're not using a suppressor, that is it. The camp will be alerted, so that is your camp ghost sub-challenge out the window as well. So your gold score just disappears completely, let alone the ghost bonus. That's the least of your worries then. So, got 2 of these left. This is another thing that you need to be wary of. If you are shooting at these marauders, even with the residue bolts, not just talking about with the BFG, make sure there is a bit of distance between them. If there is two marauders together and you fire a residue bolt at one of them, even if it catches your target, the marauder that is right beside that other marauder will have heard the bolt. And that's it. Your ghost bonus again, it's gone. So at this point, this is now starting to look quite good. There is another wire up here, so always be aware of these. I'm still at the stage that if I hit one of those, it can destroy that bonus, so not worth it. I've taken all the time to get this far, and as you can see, it's just following the same rules that I applied to my first run, but only being more cautious. And let's see if the wire's here this time. Yes, it is. The first run, for some reason, that just disappeared. I don't know why. But at this point, I do have the option. There's a tree there that I can raid. And there is the third location of the nest residue. It's no longer required. I've only got 7 marauders left to take care of, so I want the BFG. And I want that suppressor on this bad boy. And you know what? Let's see if there's any targets that I can actually take out from here. This is always fun. Oh, yes. Contender number 1. Nice. Did see another marauder just a little bit further up, but thankfully they were, yeah, far enough away for it not to be an issue. And plus, with it being the first shot, they're going to hear nothing anyhow, so. Right. I want to get closer now, basically, to where they are all situated, and they will virtually all be down at the far end of the camp near the tower area. So I'll take the slightly quicker way. This side of the camp there is more options for actually being able to run, and yep, I thought I seen something out of the corner of my eye there, so far so good. 5 remaining. Again, when I get to the last 5, I am looking to see their locations. Now this one I'm not overly concerned about, so I'm just going to take him out of the equation. Every run that I have ever done, there is always one of the marauders that is located around the tower area. And I always look to leave that one marauder until the very end. It just makes clearing out with picking up all the items at the end, should I require it, a very easy affair. It's all about making life easier for yourself. And this is a fantastic way of going about it. Okay, I can see that one there. But yeah, they're going so far out, they're definitely going to get it. Now, I can see one up in the distance there, but again, I'm just being, just showing due diligence here and checking that there is definitely at least 2 of them up there, and there is. So this one now that is coming over, he's going to get it. Yep, just get that focus on, just let them walk into the target, and that's it. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. Okay, 2 left. I know where one of them is, I'm just not sure about the second. Now, this is also all of a sudden a very interesting run, because I'm looking at the score and it's not terrible, but it's not fantastic either. So this is what my failsafe is all about. I am first looking to make sure that I get this, oh there he is. I'm looking to make sure that this one is taken care of. And basically when you're left with the last marauder, this is when you get an idea of exactly where your problems are. And yet, as you can see, even with the 2,500 point bonus for a perfect round where you take no damage, that still would not give me the 25,000. Now, although I am fairly confident that I have fulfilled the criteria for getting the ghost bonus, I'm not taking the fucking chance here. I'm going for all these items now. So here we go. I start at the very top here. Always look to start in this section because there's quite a number of items straight away. So it gets your multiplier up to 9 straight away. And from here, there are lots of items that you can basically move on from. So once you get here already, I've got 12 on the multiplier. That's it. I'm not going to be running around like a complete loony. You can, but I can really take my sweet time now. It's just all about basically building up this score now. So again, survival vision at this point is fantastic because it does highlight all the, especially in the marauders on the ground, any that you haven't actually looted, it'll show you basically where they are. So working over this side, because there is a whole lot of items here. You can even, if you like to get more on the multiplier, start crafting stamina cocktails, focus cocktails, bandages. Those items, when you craft them, do produce more on the multiplier. I'm not going to need to do this, but it's definitely worth knowing about. So yep, oh, nearly missed one. So at this point, yeah, I'm about to head over to this section now. And because I am a bit closer to where the marauder is now, yeah, I am taking the time to crouch. Makes them a damn sight more difficult for them to spot me. So, and yeah, there is more items over here. And as well as this, I think there is quite a large batch of items a little bit further up that I've actually missed. So yeah, because of the way I've gone about them. So I'll just head up over this way now and check. Yes, there is. I can see the triangles there on screen. That's basically signifying more loot, more points. And there we go. That is the gold score again. Done and dusted. But I am going to finish off this run. I am very curious to see if I've got the ghost bonus. And I'm pretty confident I have. I've done everything right. So here, avoid that one, watch for the thing, and I don't fucking believe it. Well, I am exceptionally lucky because the one that I have just hit there is a long, long way away from the marauder that is still left. That is a stroke of luck. If there had been any marauders anywhere nearby, that would have been it. The ghost bonus would have been gone. So I'll take this time just to get a few more items. In the first run, I don't think I even came over this way. And as you can see, the multiplier goes up hugely when you're basically going for all the areas. And there is a lot more up this way as well. But and I'm actually looking over there and I'm struggling to actually see the marauder, so he must be over basically to the left hand side of that tower. Yeah, there he or she is. I'm not sure which. Okay, this should do the job. Perfect round.
What next?
And there we go, ghost. That gets you quite a nice score as well. There we go, that is how the ghost bonus is achieved. And just to go into a little bit more detail, I'll show specifically what you need to be not doing. Right then, this is the first problem that most people are probably going to fail on, because if anything's going to undo you, it is normally because you miss with a residue bolt shot. Now, I don't advise you to be actually firing at the sniper guy. He is hittable, but from that angle, it was never going to happen. And this is the result of what will happen. The focus is all on this area. Now, you can still hang on to the fact that the camp ghost will remain intact because they haven't actually seen your position, but they do know somebody's down there, so that is it. The ghost bonus is now gone. Now, this is one that the high scorers are probably going to find quite problematic, because when you're going for the high scores, you tend to move quite quickly. Now, it is a well-known fact that once any marauder is hit with a residue bolt, they will no longer be able to alert the camp. So the camp ghost remains intact. But here's the thing, folks. They ain't fucking blind. They've now seen you, and that ghost bonus is gone. Now, this is a real problematic one if you're using throwables. If you are using a throwable, make sure there is no other marauders nearby, because if there are, you've all of a sudden made sure that they know somebody is about, and that's it. The ghost bonus is gone. Now, the next mistake is a real double whammy. Make sure you don't step into any bear traps. If there are any marauders nearby, they will hear the trap going off, and that's it. They know somebody is out there. But not only that, you've actually taken damage, so your perfect round bonus at the end of the run is gone. And as well as this, of course, the secret ghost bonus is also now gone. Now, the last mistake is another obvious one. Make sure you don't walk through any of the tripwires, because if you do and there are any marauders nearby, and in this case there are, that is it. The ghost bonus is gone. I'm very lucky they don't actually spot me, but the big bonus, no, that's it, done and dusted. And there we have it, folks. That is the ambush camp rush taken care of in a far more relaxed manner than what you would normally do. If you just follow a few simple steps, it really does become a much easier task. And not only that, with the added bonus that I have actually shown everyone a very unique and very secret hidden bonus that has not been discovered by, to my knowledge, anyone. So I'm delighted to be able to show that. Will this secret bonus be able to be applied to a high scoring run? Possibly, but very difficult to do. Will be interesting to see where the scores go from here on the Ambush Camp Rush leaderboard. But I am delighted to be able to show a run route that really does work. It does take a little bit longer than runs I've shown in the past, but that doesn't matter. It's all about the result, and a gold score every time is assured. And that's it, folks. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Take care.